everyone? It is Core here, and we are going to do a live stream while I drive here. Let me put my hair back. I did a video yesterday with what I'm going to talk about, and my phone overheated because I got too hot apparently. So I'm just going to do it live, so there's no chance of it being missed. Let me get going here. And then we will get into the conversation at hand. Which is going to be regarding what you see with your eyes and dreams. Which I did the video yesterday, and I didn't even know I was gonna make it. I felt like making a video. I started talking, and this is just what came out. This is something that I've been going through in my own mind, and it's what ended up coming out because it's something that people are needing to hear right now with everything that's going on in the environment that you are in. Whatever it may be, everyone needs to see this video. They don't need to see the video. They need to hear what I'm saying. Because that was the main point of what I was getting at, is that we need to stop using our eyes. Our eyes are... Hold on, I need to actually get the AC on here, or the cool air blowing in here. It is warm. Our eyes lie to us. We've all heard that. I'm sure most people have heard that frequent my channel. Our eyes do not tell us the truth. Well, why is that? Why do our eyes lie to us? And it's because our eyes are actually the last sense that we utilize. It's the last thing that we're actually using to facilitate a sense of living, of life. Because the eyes are, most of us think that when we are using our eyes, and this is just because of pure ignorance towards what is going on, when we're using our eyes, that we're just seeing things out here. That ain't the case. We ain't just seeing things out here because we got 3 eyes. We got 3 eyes. And when we think we only have 2 eyes, we're getting lost in the duality of what could be out here. Is it working now? We're back? There we go. I thought 5G was supposed to fix all this. This phone's not even 5G. So I was saying that our eyes, we have 3 eyes, and when we're only using 2 of our eyes, we're stuck into a dual point of vision, because our eyes don't even work the same. One eye is used to see, focus on things that are farther, and one eye is used to see the broader picture of everything. And they work together, and we don't even realize that they work differently. I mean, if no one's eyes are the same. Even if you go and get prescription lenses, each eye is always going to be prescribed differently. The only time you're really going to realize that is if you're getting contacts, because they're actually going to give you different contacts for each one of your eyes. Sometimes they will lenses as well in your glasses, but not usually. You're gonna keep doing this? I'm on a main road right now that has great service. Why is this occurring? Maybe it's these trees. These newly grown trees are giving out an immense amount of energy and disrupting the air. Maybe it's the sun. It's been pretty damn windy around here lately. Maybe it's the Libra line next to me. The Libra line is the name of the semi, this trunky company apparently. There's a sticker on the side of the semi, the Libra line. Reminds me of Facebook Libra, which is now renamed to Diem, the cryptocurrency, Facebook's cryptocurrency. Was Libra, now it's Diem, which is fun. To continue on, when we're using the eyes too much, we get lost in what is going on. Because we believe that we are taking things in. We're not though, because our eyes are always actually facilitating what we are grabbing with them. And is doing this from our projection point and also through our other senses of that. Because we have 4 other main senses that people know about commonly that all operate before your eyes gather anything. When we're looking at visible light, this is the slowest frequency that we're able to attain through our senses and furthermore our feeling of everything. We can touch something well before our eyes are able to grasp it. Which our touch is nothing more than an extension of our feeling. So if it's in our field of energy, if it's within our toroidal field, our energy center, our heart, which I'll get into in a few moments here, we're able to feel it. We're able to touch it. It doesn't have to be a physical sensation. Because we got to get out of that mindset that we're physical. We've never been physical. We can't be physical. We've tricked ourselves into believing we're physical, which locks us into this physical mindset of someone else's physiology. It's all mental. We have our sense of smell, which we can clearly use before we see something. We have our taste, which is linked to our smell. As soon as we smell something, we can taste it. Because our nose and our mouth are connected. You can just taste something in the air, but most likely if you taste it, you can smell it. Because that smell is the first thing that gets to you. You can hear it, and all of this occurs before you can even have a chance to see it. You smell it and you look to see if it's there, to see what it is. If it smells good or if it smells bad. You smell manure as you're driving by a farm, and what is that? And you look around to see what it is, because you're bringing that back to you. Your eyes are not the thing that guide you. They are not the thing that tells you where to go. You don't see something and then say, let's go over there. Because if you do that, you're already going over there. You already knew you were going over there. So your ignorance and your disbelief that you're manifesting your life that allows you not to see that is the case. It's always been the case. We've always guided ourselves to wherever we choose to go. It's all a choice. It's our responsibility. It's always been our responsibility, but so many of us have fallen into the ignorance. They say ignorance is bliss. And it is. I used to say that's not true. It is. Ignorance is bliss, because you have to know what bliss is. Bliss is bleeding. If we get into the full etymology of it, bliss is to bless. And to bless this is why they say bless you. When you sneeze, don't say that. You don't want to bless anyone when they sneeze. It's to throw blood on you. That's the real holy water. The real holy water is Orin, which is blood though, because all fluids in the body are blood. So that's why it's blessed, bliss. ignorance is bliss, because it's going to make you bloody. It's going to bruise you. It's going to leave you in a place that you really don't want to be in. But that's what happens when you're ignorant. That's what happens when you allow your unconscious mind to guide. The unconscious mind is just there to provide you with things that are not in your conscious at the moment. And it's your choice if you actually want to attain that and go towards it, or if you want to push that away. It's all up to you. What do you want to do? People need to stop putting the onus on others, that this is your fault. You did this. This is the government's fault. This is the corporation's fault. This is the fault of these people poisoning all of the food. No, it's your fault for choosing to participate in any of these things and then going into it with the minds to do. That's more ignorant than just going along with it and believing that this is how everything is. The most ignorant thing you can do is to go along with something and then also say that, you know what? I don't like what is going on here, but I'm just going to sit here and scream and cry about it. That's ignorance. What's going on here? That type of magicianry and illusions are put into them. No matter what kind of occult magic is being done to that stuff, what level you're getting it at, whether it's the most pristine version or whether it's the most dastardly version being from a fast food restaurant, it has consequences that come with it. Because that's just how it is, depending on what you are choosing to put inside your body. That's how it works. And the same thing occurs when you choose to go and do something. Depending on what you're choosing to do, it's going to have consequences. And you got to be responsible for those consequences. That's why people don't want to be responsible, because they don't want to take ownership of the choices that they have made in the life, because it would kill them if they had to. They would break if they had to actually say, like, wow, I'm the reason that I'm where I am right now. Thank you, Justin. If people have to take that responsibility, they would crumble. That's a lot of responsibility. That's an immense amount of responsibility. To take ownership of where you are right now. And I'm of all time, not from since you were born. What situation were you born into? What type of childhood did you have? How did you get to where you are right now? All of it. Because our energy doesn't just start when we come into this current life of existence. We've had this energy. Some of us have had a lot of things. What that thing is, but we know the energy. And if we can at least take responsibility for that energy and where we are currently, we can start changing the flow of the current to how we want it to be. People are dammed up. They're stuck. Which is why they eat foods. Hold on. This is why they eat foods that bring out this type of behavior of being stuck, of not taking responsibility. Because it's a physical thing and it's a mental thing. And when you inhabit something physically, you're inhabiting it mentally already. This is why you can change your physical health, your physiology, your cellular symbology. The brain's up here. Somewhere. When you fix your cells lock up your body, your ideas. Your cells in your body lock up your ideas. The perception, the observation that you have, where you are focusing on mentally, your physical cells take that in. And your cells have cells, and your cells have cells. It just keeps going. It's never ending. Which is why we need to focus on what we would like to do and take responsibility for what comes of it. Because once we do that, we're going to find ourselves exactly where we choose to be. We're also going to find ourselves with the consequences from where we chose to be, whatever that may be. It may be the most beautiful thing. It may be the most lovely consequences. It's just what's coming from it. It's just the output of the input, or the input of the output. It can go either way. It's the thing that's next to what you're doing. If you're doing something, you're going to have something next to you. That's how it works. It has to. Because otherwise we'd be alone. And if we were alone, where would we be? and to get back to Amazon's down. What the hell? That's weird. I just got this news feed fed to me. Amazon's down. They can't access anyone's accounts. What? What's going on? You know how many things have been down recently, technology-wise? I wonder why that is. Maybe I should do a video on that. I wonder why that is. What's going on right now? Is it maybe because Fourth Industrial Revolution? Maybe this new financial system that's coming into play that I've talked about a little bit? Maybe. Or maybe it's just the sun fucking with everything. Maybe it's the solar energy just saying, I'm done with it. Maybe that's why my cell phone signal keeps going out. The solar energy is like, I'm done with all this. We're getting rid of it. Because that sun's on a new level this year. That sun is something else. Let me touch on that for a moment. So our feelings all come from our heart. So our senses, our sensations all come from our heart and they go into our heart. Now there's something about the heart that we need to have a realization about, though, is our heart's not physical. I've talked about this a lot in my videos. I've mentioned a lot. I have a black hole where my heart is. I don't know that there's anything there. But that's just so that I can put whatever I would choose into it. Because if you believe you have this physical heart, which just looks like a tumor in the first place, how it's depicted, I'm not saying that if you were cut someone open that it wouldn't look like that, but you have to kill them to do that. Because as soon as you kill someone, you stop the energy flow and how it actually is. That's how all... what's the term? Physical parts, body parts, are known of as by a dead body. Which is, if you go back to where all of this stuff first originated in the English language, it was in the encyclopedias. If you go look up the first encyclopedia, this is all the stuff that's in it. It's telling you about how this place works. In a dead form, though, because the only way that they knew how to study it is through a dead form. They didn't know how to do it through life. They had to kill something to study it. And the word that's even associated with the studying of the body has something to do with death. I'm gonna look it up and put it on my Instagram, because I'm curious now. It's not coming to me. Though, anyways, to keep going, all known physical body parts are only known through death. That's the only way they know that this is how a heart is. This is how all your organs look. It's through doing some type of autopsy. All anatomy is known through death. That's not really how it is. That's not actually how it is. It's energy. So our heart is a vortex. As children, we were told our heart pumps, and then we come to find out our heart actually is a vacuum, they discover, which they might be telling children that now. I have no idea. The heart is a vacuum, which if it's a vacuum, it's a vortex. Because that's what vacuums do. They create a vortex, because that's what allows that suction. And if your heart is a vacuum, that's empty space. It's a wormhole. Where is it going? Where does it lead to? It's a portal. And that vacuum is inside of you, but you're also inside of that vacuum. Because this is the field that you are in. It's your heart. That's why the heart is the shape that it is. Because it's coming into you. It's coming into your top energy center, or your chakra, or organ, instrument. It's coming into your instrumentation of how you present yourself, of how you're able to utilize everything. Why it's focused how it is, because the top of you is the most energetic, and as it moves down, it gets more focused, because this is how you get balance. You didn't have energy focused into your feet, rooted, you wouldn't be able to balance. And this is what our heart is. The heart is in us, and we're in our heart. How does that work? I don't know. No one knows. Anyone that tries to know that ends up ignorant to the fact that they don't know it. And that's how you get to the places that people are right now, is trying to figure out how we are able to embody our heart and embody our heart. How does that work? It's that said my hair. Thank you, Josh. How did I see just? That's not even close, lengthwise. Wow, my service did not work at all in that little strip of road. Interesting. Which I've had a lot of issues with cellular service recently. In the past 2 months, a lot of issues, a lot of dead zones, places I've had full cell phone service, no problem, where it's just completely out, where it doesn't even make sense. Maybe it does. So what I was saying is, our heart is in us, and our heart is around us. And this is something that we just cannot actually know the meaning of, or why it is. Because if we did, there we go. You know, side side note for everyone that's in here, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you would like to see more videos like this. I'm probably gonna do another live stream later. I'll probably be releasing more videos as well as I normally do when the weather starts to it's not weather, when the sun starts to get heated up where I am, because I am a sun being. I do get out in that sun, and once I get that sun energy in me, it lights a fire in me to say a few things. So back to what I was explaining is, if we were to know what it is to have a heart and to be in our heart, to hold something and to also be in something, because our environment is within us, and within us is our environment. This is the same thing, because that is the heart. That is the energy. What we embody, we partake in. And that's our responsibility to maintain that, because that's the garden. We guard it because it's in us, but then we're also gardening it outside of us, watering it. That's why we gotta drink water, because if we drink water, we hydrate ourselves, and the outside of us is gonna be hydrated. And when things are hydrated, there's life, there's exuberance, there's enthusiasm, there's excitement. There's a certain type of energy that is not able to be present when there is a lack of hydration, because water and what water actually is the most important thing for our existence in how we enjoy it. And if we even attempt to figure out what that is, because it's not possible. It's not possible to know how we are able to have a heart in us and then also exist in our heart. It's not possible. It's not possible to know how we can embody a type of energy, how we can eat something and see it around us. That's the dream. That's how dreaming works. And if we attempt to figure out how that actually exists, we're going to end up dead, because it's the same thing. That's the problem with occultism, is they're trying to determine how we actually exist. But once you do that, you end up in a deadly environment. Now, true occultists, they're not doing that. Though the very vague material that is put out there, that's what they're leading you to. A true occultist would not tell you, or would not lead you down a path to find nothing. They're going to show you that there is nothing there, and they're going to show you that we're actually here to experience life, because that's really what it is, what the occult arts are about. It's about experiencing life. It's not about trying to figure out what the hell death is. Hey Danny. When we're trying to figure out what death is, we're going to die. When we're trying to figure out how we exist, we're going to die. When we try to figure out how that dream occurred, how we are where we are to the fullest extent, we're going to die. This is trying to figure out history. You can't. That's actually one of the things that got me started on this subject, is an old video of mine, is that something, I don't even know the title, is something about you can't prove history never existed. Go look it up. It's talking about the fact that history can never actually be shown to be history in the idea of how it's given. It's his story. It's always in the words. If people understood the language, they would know where they are. It's always in the words. I don't care what language you are speaking. I don't care how many times someone has tried to manipulate it and change it and orchestrate it for their own manipulative purposes. If you can get to the finite lettering, lines, and organization of that language, you'll figure out everything, because it's all in the figures. It's all in the numbers. It's in everything. The language is always going to bring you back to, it's all just life. You just got to figure out how it's being used, how it's been manipulated for someone else's purpose. That's what tricked everyone right now into where they are. It's the language, which I'm not going to get into fully right now, but it's all the language. That's the matrix. That's what got everyone in this position they're in. It's the language, because the language leads them towards a deathly existence. And when you're following that deathly existence, you end up dead. So history, if you're trying to figure out your past and where you came from, you're going to end up dead, which is what they are getting everyone with right now. Because what's going on in the media again, and has been going on, racism. Now it's Asian race, Asian segregation. Before that, it was black people. Before that, it was gay people. Sexual orientation, and before that it was circle. There's a specific the Asian culture, and it has to do with why they keep doing this to melanated people would pick for it, because these are the people that have the most to seemingly lose, because they have the most creative ability, particularly the females. This is just the truth. Anyone that tries to argue this is being completely ignorant to the fact. You don't know where you are. You don't know what the heart is. You don't know what darkness is, because you run from it, because you're trying to hide from your heart. You're in darkness. Once you come to the fact that you are existing in darkness, you can come to the fact that the melanated goddess is the originator of you. All of you. Everyone. Me. It's just this what it is. And I'm not preaching by any means that we're all supposed to be one skin tone. No, because we all exist in different forms of life. We all have different rays of energy that are flowing into us. We were born in this time for a reason. We were born in this time to feel how it is to have someone that's at this different vibration than what you are. I mean, I am actually, you can't tell necessarily by looking at me, but I have just as much European in me as I do. What term do I even use at this point? What term do I use? It's really not Indian. It's definitely not black. Melanated is just a chemical. What term do I use? But that's the idea of it. Is they're trying to make people not realize where they actually come from. Is it more? Is that the right term? I don't know. But that's the point I'm getting at, is we don't need to go find our past. We don't need to go find our history. We don't need to go find our genealogy and where we come from. There are reasons to do that to an extent. We don't need to go fishing for things that we never actually partake in, though. To an overextent. We can, to an extent, to get a grasp on the situation that we actually have at hand, because that can be useful. If the tool isn't useful, why are you going to find it? What's the point? It won't have a point. It won't be useful to you. You won't be able to turn the screw with it. You won't be able to hammer the nail in with it. You won't be able to text someone with it, to look up information, to get knowledge from it. The tool won't be useful at that point. So don't go searching for it. That's the problem with history right now. They're trying to get people to link to something no matter what it is. They're trying to get people to go and fish for something no matter what it is in their past. Because if you go and fish for that in your past and you find out something dastardly, you're going to put that into your future and it's going to happen again. That is what these magicians are trying to bring into existence again. They claim they've done it already by the symbolism. Have they? I don't know. I can't speak on that for a fact. None of us can, because we're only here right now. We're only in the moment. And once we try to get into that loophole that they have created, we get lost. They start pulling us by the belt strap, just slowly. They just grab onto us and just slowly pull us in a certain direction. That's what happens when we start playing those games. We end up outside of our heart, and we end up in their energy. We end up in their energy. And we end up in their energy, we're going to end up manipulated. We're going to end up in situations that we don't want to be in. But it was our choice. We chose to do it. We chose to play the game. We have to take responsibility for it. We have to pull our pants up and put our belt on and say, no, I'm not going that way anymore. We have to protect ourselves. We have to oil up. No? Okay. We did it. It's our responsibility. We can't keep blaming other people, other beings, other entities, other energies. Because who's to say we didn't create that in the first place? Who's to say that ignorance that we held on to for a sense of comfort, which comfort doesn't exist in the way that most people believe that it does? I'm just sitting in the intersection. For some reason, now that I'm sitting in the middle of this intersection, on a green light going across of me, I've just drawn a blank. It's just I'm just here. I'm here in the middle of everything. I gotta look around. I gotta see what's going on. The lane is closed. The left lane's closed. We gotta go right. We gotta all get in the right lane. We gotta go slow, because you gotta have patience. You gotta know where you're going. This is the dream right here. This guy standing here at the sign doesn't even realize that. He's giving me signs. He's telling me what I need to know at this moment so I can relay it to you. This mannequin right here, she's just chilling. It reminds me of the movie I Am Legend. That mannequin. They put a mannequin outside of that store with a dress on, blowing in the wind. About to cross the bridge. This is the dream. We have to realize where we are. Everything we need to know is around us. We don't need to go fishing in history, because we're going to end up in someone else's fantasy. We're going to end up in someone else's reality, in their reflection, not our reflection, because our reflection comes outside of our heart, not their heart. If we're following their heart, we're going to end up damned. We're going to end up stuck. We're going to end up in a position that we were not ready to get into. This is like people doing yoga out there. People are getting into positions that their bodies cannot handle. That's why they give you yoga how they do, because they're giving it to you in the same way that they give you life. They put you in positions that you cannot handle. They don't want you to take responsibility for it, because they know if you take responsibility, it's over. You're going to create your own reality. You're going to create your own existence for yourself and everyone else. And everyone's going to partake in it. Because the clock ain't the time. This is letting you know that you're the one controlling those hands. Because who has hands? Who has hands but you? Who has a mind but you? Can you actually quantify anyone else has a mind to utilize this type of information? No, you can't. You can exchange information with them. You can see what they're putting out, you can see what they're taking in, but you don't actually know how they're processing and how they're coming up with it. They may be a computer, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with technology. Stop hating on technology. As much as I don't really like technology and I work with it consistently, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just impeded onto people's existence, and they have not taken responsibility of the technology. We are in the technology. Buildings are technology. These houses that I'm driving through, this is ancient technology. All of food, this one has columns on it. There's 4 columns on the front. This is technology. And these are everywhere. Because within you is outside of you. These trees are technology. The grass. As much as I don't like this grass. It hides too much. It hides the dirt. It doesn't allow other things to grow. But it's still technology. It's still life. It still has a purpose. It still has a use. Cows eat grass. Why? Why do cows eat grass? Why don't you eat grass? Why do you smoke grass? This is the lunacy of the system. It gets you entrapped into this mind state of where you're just going through the rhythms of what they're putting out. The music, like it's garbage. Whatever is on the radio is garbage. It's terrible. It's probably made by robots, by algorithms. And to bring all of this full circle, the dream is what we're in. We do dream when we lay down and rest as well. We're dreaming in different frequencies because we're exiting this technology and going into another form of technology. If you find a mirror when you're dreaming, you don't look how you think you look. Just like now, you don't. If it was a shaman. Rub my hands together. You ain't a home. Bill Tatro. I was stating, when you lay down to rest, you're still dreaming. Just as you are now. You're just going into another sense of density, another destiny. And if you were to go and look at yourself in that dream, you would not look how you think you do. Just as you never do. Just as I'm looking at myself on this screen right now, how do I know that's how I look? Because that's what it's saying? But this technology is giving me a reflection through this camera, and it I have to believe that this is how I look. I don't, and it doesn't really matter to me. That's why I just let my hair do what it does. It just grows how it grows. I let this grow. I used to take care of all of this. I used to manicure all of this on a bi-weekly basis. I would cut my own hair and I'd do it all. Then I decided one day, like, why am I doing this? Why am I trying to put something on for someone? I don't even know if that's how they see me. I think I look like this, but how do I know that's what they're seeing? We don't know how other people see with their eyes because these are lenses. These are lenses. This is just taking in the energy that is being put out. And if their energy is partaking in your energy, how do you know that they're seeing you how you think they do? You don't, even if you were to go look in a mirror. That mirror is flexing light. It's actually bending light back at you so that you can see it. So you can see what you think you are. I did a video about that. I'm trying to think of what it was called. Reflect? Something like that. But that flect has to do with bending light. If you go look up the word, flect has to do with bending light. It's all in the words. And the mirror is reflecting you. It's giving you a bending of it. If you're bending something, it's not exactly what it is it? You've changed it in some way, shape, or form. If you were to take a paper clip and bend it straight, you change the whole entire form. Now you can't even clip paper together with it. What are you going to do with it? You can do something with it. You can pop a lock with it, open the door, but it's no longer going to hold paper because you've bent it. It's different now. It has a different form. And this is the same thing when we go and look at ourselves, because this is a dream. So don't expect yourself to be how you think you are, because thinking is not... Thoughts are not ours. Which I'm not going to get into right now. I'll talk about that in a later live stream. Because that's a whole conversation in itself. Thoughts are not ours, though. Thoughts are a reflection of energy. And many of them are highly manipulated. But I'm gonna roll through this chat real quick just to see what was said. And anyone that's in here, give me a like. I would appreciate it. Yes, Danny, the sun and the moon. Yeah, the people are so deterred by the moon, the lunacy of it. They're only demonizing themselves. That's funny. I didn't even realize that. What's going on, Lamont? It has been a long time. You're welcome, Danny. I'm gonna get off here. I hope everyone enjoyed this live stream. I hope it all recorded. Or no, I don't hope. I have faith that it all recorded correctly, and that everyone's going to get the parts that they need to hear. And I will speak to everyone later. Enjoy the rest of your day.